Find a quiet place where no one will disturb you. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position. Let your body grow heavy and still. Choose a single point to focus on and let your gaze linger there. Soft, steady, unblinking. Inhale deeply, filling the hollow of your chest, expanding the cavern of your lungs. Hold it for a heartbeat and savor the fullness. Then release, slow and steady, like a sigh dissolving into night. Again, inhale deeply. Feel the cool air brush your nostrils, expand within you, and stir your ribs. Hold. And exhale, letting your body soften, your mind loosen. A third time. Breathe in. Hold. As you exhale, allow your eyes to gently close. For a moment, just be here. Be aware of the darkness you're in with your eyes shut. Let your mind be quiet. If thoughts or concerns arise about things that need to be done, simply notice them. Acknowledge them with a soft nod and let them drift aside. They will wait. Remember, you are not your thoughts. Here in this stillness, you are your soul, present, luminous, and on its own sacred journey. This is your time, your choice, your self-care. Whether your path is just beginning or has been long unfolding, this moment of meditation is meaningful, and you are worthy of the connection. Now, let your senses stretch out. Notice the gentle current of energy flowing deep beneath the earth, like a river smooth and slow. Let it draw your heaviness down and down and down. Feel that deep, steady heartbeat of the earth, ancient, unhurried, eternal. This rhythm anchors you and opens a pathway into the sacred space of meditative transformation. Now held in the deep pulse of the earth, anchored, not bound, feel a stillness settle within you. And from this stillness, something begins to stir. A subtle opening, a soft beckoning. You are at the threshold of this world, and with one step, you cross the veil into that sacred space. Let the ordinary world do what it does when you give it permission. Soften at the edges, recede, and release its claim on your attention, just long enough for something older and more patient to arrive. You are going somewhere familiar today. Your feet know this path. Your body knows this journey. Some part of you that lives beneath the noise of daily life has been here before, across many seasons, many turnings of the wheel, and recognizes without effort the particular quality of light and air and sound that means you are almost there. almost home. You find yourself at the southern edge of the forest. It is midsummer, midday. The sun is directly overhead, not the gentle slanted light of morning or the golden horizontal warmth of late afternoon, but the full vertical blaze of the sun at its absolute zenith. The sky above the forest canopy is the deep, saturated blue that only exists in the heart of summer, a blue so complete it seems to hum. The well-worn path enters the forest ahead of you. You know this path. Your feet have found it in other seasons, in the tentative green of early spring, in the rich colors of autumn, in the blue-white silence of winter. But today, in full summer, the path is something else entirely. The canopy overhead has closed completely. Leaf touching leaf in an unbroken ceiling of green that transforms the full noon blaze into something cathedral and diffuse. The light that reaches you here is not direct. It has passed through 10,000 leaves to arrive, each one filtering and softening it, each one adding its own green breath to the air, so that what surrounds you is not sunlight exactly, but something more like living light, light that has passed through living things and carries their quality with it. Step onto the path. Feel the familiarity of it beneath your feet. Feel the give of summer earth, warm and slightly soft, cushioned with the season's growth. The path is wide here, well worn by the feet of those who have walked it before you and those who will walk it after, the soil packed smooth at the center and edged with the abundant undergrowth of high summer. Ferns unfurling in great green arcs, wildflowers finding the patches of light that reach the forest floor, the occasional root crossing the path in a curve you know instinctively to step over. The forest is loud with summer, birdsong layered so thickly it becomes its own kind of silence. Not the absence of sound, but the presence of so much of it that individual voices dissolve into a single living chorus. Insects in the undergrowth, the movement of small things in the leaf litter, the occasional creak of a branch high overhead. The forest at midsummer is not quiet. It is expressing itself at full volume, holding nothing back, offering everything it has to the long days and the generous light. This is what full expression sounds like. Keep walking. Let the path carry you deeper into the green. Feel how the temperature drops slightly as you move further from the forest's edge, the canopy doing its ancient work of holding the cool against the summer heat, creating this climate that exists nowhere else, this midsummer shade that is not cold but not hot, that is exactly what a living thing needs to keep growing without burning. Notice the trees as you walk, the oaks especially. They are extraordinary at this time of year, their canopies vast and complex, each tree a world unto itself, supporting more life in a single season than most things manage in a lifetime. The leaves are at their deepest green now, past the fresh yellow green of spring, fully mature and fully themselves, doing the work of photosynthesis at maximum capacity, converting light into life with an efficiency that is almost incomprehensible. Every leaf is a small sun catcher, every branch a community, every tree a complete and sovereign expression of what an oak is, doing it without apology or qualification or the need for anyone's permission. This is what it looks like to be fully what you are. The path curves gently to the left and then straightens, and you know this curve. You know that after it comes a long, straight stretch where the canopy is particularly dense and the light specifically green. And then, after that, the path begins to rise, and then the clearing. The forest releases you into the clearing without warning, the way a forest always does. One step you are among the trees, the next you are standing at the edge of open sky. The clearing is generous, a wide circle of open ground ringed by the forest on all sides. The trees standing at its edges like witnesses, respectful of the space without enclosing it. The grass here is summer-long and studded with wildflowers. The clearing gets the full sun, the forest path doesn't, and it has responded with everything it has. Yellows and purples and whites, and the occasional startling red of a wild poppy catch the light. At the center of the clearing, the structure. You have seen it before. You know it the way you know the path, not just with your eyes, but with something deeper, some older recognition that lives in the body rather than the mind. The octagonal stone chimney rising from the center of the clearing, ancient and intentional, its mortared stone warm in the summer light, the carved root and branch and celestial motifs of its intercardinal corners catching shadows that make them seem to move. You can see the fire through the southern opening from here, a distant amber warmth against the noon brightness of the clearing. Steady, constant, the same fire that burns here in every season, that has been burning here longer than memory, and that will be burning here when this midsummer is long folded into the past. You walk across the clearing toward it. Feel the long grass against your hands as you move through. Feel the sun on your shoulders, warm, direct, the unfiltered blaze of the solstice sun falling on you without apology. Feel how your shadow is at its shortest today, compressed almost to nothing at your feet. The sun so directly overhead that darkness has nowhere to go. This is the peak of the outward season, and even your shadow knows it. You arrive at the south face of the structure and stop. The stone is warm under your hands as you reach out to touch the mantle's edge. The carving beneath your fingers is deep and precise. Individual oak leaves rendered with a fidelity that suggests whoever made this understood the oak not just as a symbol, but as a living thing worthy of that level of attention. You trace a leaf's edge. You find an acorn nestled among the carved branches. You follow a root down toward the base of the panel where it curls around the opening through which the fire breathes its warm amber light. Above the opening, at the keystone, a rendering of the sun in full blaze, rays extending outward in all directions, a carved celebration of exactly this moment, this day, this angle of light. You look up at the phrase engraved above the mantle. The stone has held these words across more seasons than you can count. They are weathered at their edges, softened by time, but completely legible, completely present. They say, I burn completely, I yield willingly, I return. Read them again, not as instruction, not as something being asked of you, as a statement you are being invited to try on, to hold in your chest for a moment and feel whether it fits. Whether some part of you already knows this to be true about yourself, or has already known it, or has simply been waiting for the moment and the place to say it clearly. I burn completely. What would it mean to burn completely? Not to hold back the parts of yourself that feel too much, or want too much, or shine in directions that make others uncomfortable. To be fully expressed, fully present, fully the thing you are at your maximum capacity, the way the oak is fully the oak at midsummer, holding nothing in reserve, offering everything it has to the long days. I yield willingly. This statement does not mean defeat or silencing. It is not the resignation of someone who has been told to be smaller. The willing, sovereign, dignified release of someone who understands the wheel, who knows that the inward season that follows is not the end of their fire, but its necessary turn, the season of root work and depth and preparation that makes the next outward burning possible. I return. The oak does not fear the autumn. It knows spring. It has been here before and will be here again. The return is not a hope. It is a certainty written into the nature of things. The same certainty that brings you back to this path, to this clearing, to this fire, season after season. Stand with the phrase a moment longer. I return. Let it settle into your body, not as concept, but as felt truth. Step through the opening into the firelight interior of this structure. The interior is smaller than the outside suggests. It is intimate, contained. The stone walls are close enough that you are immediately enveloped in the fire's warmth. The ceiling is open to the sky above, a circle of that deep summer blue visible overhead, the smoke rising in a thin column toward it. The fire burns at the center on a raised stone hearth, flames reaching upward with the energy of midsummer. Not the fierce, low burning of a winter fire holding its heat against the cold, but an outward reaching, generous, expansive blaze that seems to want to give everything it has to the air around it. Step closer to this fire. Feel its warmth on your face and hands and the front of your body. Feel how it is not too hot here. The fire knows its relationship with you. It knows how close is close enough and holds itself at exactly the temperature of full presence without overwhelm. This is the Oak King's energy. Not a figure, not a face, but a quality of being that you can feel as clearly as you feel the fire's warmth. A presence in the blaze itself, in the way it reaches outward without hesitation, in the way it consumes what it is given completely and converts it entirely into light and warmth without holding anything back for later. The fire does not save a portion of its heat for a rainy day. It burns what it has completely right now. Feel that quality moving through you. That freedom of complete expression, of not editing yourself before you speak, before you create, before you show up in your life. Of being for this moment in the firelit interior of an ancient stone structure in the heart of a midsummer forest. Exactly and entirely what you are. Notice what that feels like in your body. Where does it live? In your chest? In your hands? In your throat? In the place behind your sternum where you hold the things you haven't said yet? Notice where full expression wants to move in you and let it move there. Not performed, not constructed, just felt. This is your midsummer fire. This is what your Oak King energy feels like when you stop apologizing for it. Take a seat by the fire. The stone floor is warm. The fire breathes. The circle of summer sky overhead holds its deep blue with complete certainty. And in the firelit interior, you are held between earth and sky. Between the stone that has been here longer than you and the sky that will be hereafter, in exactly the right place at exactly the right time. Something draws your attention to the edges of the interior. Not a figure, not a face, but a quality of shadow at the periphery of the firelight. Not threatening, not encroaching, simply present, patient in the way that what comes next is always patient at the edges of what is right now. The way winter is always present at the edges of summer if you know how to look. The way rest is always present at the edges of full expression, waiting not to extinguish it, but to receive it when it has burned as completely as it can. This is the Holly King's presence, not the enemy of the fire, not the force that will diminish you, the necessary continuation of the wheel, standing at the edge of the light with the patience of something that understands cycles, that has always understood them, that knows its time is coming, not because yours is ending, but because the wheel requires both of you, the outward burning and the inward tending, the summer blaze and the winter fire, the full expression and the root work that makes the next full expression possible. Feel the relationship between them, the fire at the center and the shadow at the edge, the oak king's energy blazing in the present moment, and the holly king's energy waiting with perfect equanimity at the threshold of what comes next. This is not a battle. This is a conversation between two aspects of the same living force, the same wheel, the same fire in different phases, and you, sitting between them in the warm firelit interior of this ancient stone structure. You are not caught between them. You contain both of them. You always have. The question the midsummer fire asks you is simply this: what have you been holding back from your full expression? Not what you should be expressing, not what anyone else thinks you should be doing with your fire. What is genuinely, specifically, and personally yours to burn completely in this season of your life. Let the answer come not as thought, but as warmth, not as plan, but as recognition. The thing you already know, the thing the fire already knows about you. Sit with this. Let the fire receive it. And understand that bringing it into full expression, burning it completely, holding nothing back, is not recklessness. It is your sovereign participation in the wheel, your contribution to the cycle. Your fire burning at its full capacity is what feeds what follows. The light you generate at your peak is what makes the inward season possible. The Holly King's fire in the winter is lit from the coal of your summer blaze. You are not burning for yourself alone. You are burning for the wheel. When you are ready, and you will know, the fire will tell you, your body will tell you to rise. Stand before the fire one more time and feel its warmth on your face. The blaze has not diminished in your time here. It burns exactly as it did when you arrived, completely, generously, and without reservation. It will be burning when you return in another season. It has been burning since before you first found this path. Turn now and step back through the southern opening into the full blaze of the midsummer clearing. The sun hits you immediately. Warm, direct, the full solstice light falling on you without apology. Your shadow is still at its shortest. The wildflowers are still turning their faces upward. The forest still rings with birdsong at its summer peak. Walk across the clearing. Feel the long grass against your hands. Feel the summer warmth on your shoulders, and carry with you, not as concept, not as resolution, not as another item of the list of ways you are trying to improve yourself, but as a felt quality in your body. Feel a warmth that has nothing to do with the sun overhead, the knowledge of what it feels like to burn completely. Find the path at the forest's edge and step back into the green. The canopy closes over you. The light becomes cathedral again. The temperature drops its few degrees into that perfect midsummer coolness. The birdsong surrounds you. The well-worn path is familiar under your feet. And as you walk, let the phrase from the south face move through you again, not as words carved in stone, but as something you are carrying in your chest, something that belongs to you now, something you brought here and the fire confirmed. I burn completely. I yield willingly. I return. You know the meaning behind these words. It means burning completely as the fullest expression of what you are in this season of your life, and that soon you will yield to the inner work in its season, and that after, you will return to your fullest expression again. What you have experienced here remains with you. What you have received is yours to keep. Begin to feel the weight of your body again, the surface beneath you, the air against your skin, the slow, steady rhythm of your breath moving in and out, in and out, anchoring you back to this moment, this place, this self. Feel the deep heartbeat of the earth beneath you, that ancient unhurried pulse, and let it draw you gently back, not away from what you found in the sacred space, but back into the body that will carry it forward. Let the body wake slowly and with kindness, the way morning light arrives, gradually, without demand. Curl your toes like oat roots drinking from the deep summer earth. And stretch your fingers like the canopy reaching toward the longest light. Take one deep breath. Inhale the fullness of your own complete expression, drawing in the warmth of everything you are at your peak. And exhale fully, a long, slow release, and releasing the habit of holding back what is yours to burn. That completes this journey and begins the next. When the moment feels right, return to the waking world with the solstice fire still warm in your chest, your shadow at its shortest, and the wheel turning exactly as it should. Open your eyes. Carry what you found here into the world that is waiting for you. It is changed by your having gone where you just went, and so are you. I strongly suggest you make time to journal about this experience. What did the fire show you about your full expression? What have you been holding back from your own summer? Recording what came through will honor the specific and personal fire you carry, and will give you something to return to as the wheel turns and you tend what this season ignited. Welcome back. If this meditation served you, I'd be grateful if you'd share it with someone who might need it. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you'd like to go deeper through books, music, readings, and more of this work, find me at rookwoodmoon.com or lrr.rocks. Until next time, remember you are more than enough for everything ahead of you. Blessed be.